We're in Job chapter 5 this week. I'm starting to read verse 18, chapter 5. He wounds, but he binds up. He shatters, but his hands heal. He will deliver you from 6 troubles. In 7, no evil shall touch you. In famine, he will redeem you from death. In war, from the power of the sword. You will be hidden from the lash of the tongue, and shall not fear destruction when it comes. At destruction and famine you shall laugh, and shall not fear the beasts of the earth. For you shall be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with you. You shall know that your tent is at peace, and you shall inspect your fold, and miss nothing. For you shall know also that your offspring shall be many, as your descendants, as the grass of the earth. You shall come to your grave in ripe old age, like a sheaf gathered up in its season. Wow, powerful passage from Job chapter 5, continuing our study in this remarkable book. Here in this particular pericope, or this passage that I just read, you can see how well ordered the universe is, for God to shape it in this form. And he does do some wounding, some painful experiences, but then he binds them up, verse 18. So he pulls together at the end and binds everything up. He shatters, and what a shattering it is. And I know some of you are going through some difficult shattering yourself, in your own family setting. And that is sometimes very hard to imagine how God could make us go through that. But according to verse 18 here, even though he shatters, his hands will also heal. So there's this contrast between God bringing some real terrible mess in our lives, and then how he makes a recoup, and how he initiates actually the full recovery. So it's a paradox, because sometimes we ask ourselves the question: Is this all these bad things happening to us? Is this emanating from God? Well, if we just look at this passage, it would seem to say yes. It would seem to be pointing out to the fact that God is the one initiating these things. But he initiates it to serve a lesson, maybe to drive our attention to him, and then he brings it all back together. And sometimes that is hard to see, that he does that he will bring it all together. In a certain passage, in another passage in scripture, he said that he will not cause his own to be hurt. Yung protection is total, complete. And in fact, he narrates here how he will deliver us from 6 troubles, all kinds of troubles. Famine, war, even the critical tongue of others, sometimes they are more painful than the physical pain. Any form of destruction, including right now, the fear of the entire world, the COVID-19. And it says here very clearly, he will deliver us from troubles. And that is completely a very powerful theological belief of Job. In the midst of all the things that have happened to him, yung assertion niya is still strong. He's saying, I'm gonna pull through because I believe my God is the one who's in charge in all forms of destruction and mayhem. He comes around and he helps his people recover. That is a very important point. And it should, really be driven home to each one's minds and heart, especially in the context of a difficult situation. But how does that actually jive with reality, no? Kasi pag tinanong mo, totoo ba to? I mean, are these words really in effect? When I go through some very difficult time, will God really come together and pull together in the end? But sometimes we don't see that. Sometimes the destruction simply continues on. And for those of us who are sick or with loved ones who are sick, the illness just gets worse and worse, and then it ends up in our own demise. No? So it's not consistent somehow. I heard a situation, perhaps you have heard the situation dito sa Tennessee, 2-hour drive from where I am right now. A huge tornado hit the city of Nashville, and about 24 people were killed. One of them is a family, who's very, very active in their local church and their little girl. There was no way of escape because they were sleeping, perhaps quietly. The tornado struck at 12 midnight almost. So they were just swept by the strong winds. And all 3 of them perished. We asked a very difficult question, like Job is asking himself the question. In the midst of the losses that have happened in his life, his job, his reputation, his family, everything, even his health has broken apart. It is astonishing to see Job remarkably restating his assertion of the God whom he believes. This is the God who will bring some problems, but then he will also bring some solutions. He will wound, but he will bind up. He will shatter, but then he will also bring healing. And it's sometimes you have to be philosophical and trying to explain what Job is trying to say here, and that's sometimes a hard thing to do. But if we remember that this book was written in order to address a nation somewhat languishing in a difficult situation. So when you are in that situation, you try to explain, find a way to understand what you're going through. And at times you grope for meaning, and the best way to counteract that somewhat dissonance between your faith and actual reality is to just simply make an assertion. This is what I believe my God can do, and that is very, very important. Amidst all our pronouncements, our argumentation, our mga away natin sa discussion about God and theology, it's important to understand first the assertion that God is there to bring to recovery and bring to healing and bring to order everything that is messy in front of us, everything that is diseased in front of us, everything that is out of order. And he will make it come to pass. He has covered all the bases, so that eventually we will see that Job's assertion means there's no more fear, because he has God has covered the situation. So, I don't know what your situation is right now. Iba-iba sitwasyon natin ngayong araw na ito. Ngayong umaga, ngayong gabi, depende sa pagbukas ninyo sa ating video. But here's the assertion of Job, no? As we continue this series. Let this be the guide of our hearts, especially yung unang verse na yan, sa verse 18. Chapter 5 na tayo ng Job. He wounds, but then he binds up. He shatters, but then his hands will heal. May you find this week his binding work and his healing touch sa anumang sitwasyon natin na pinagdadaraanan ngayon. Make sure to put your comments below, okay? So we can interact. The Lord bless you.